this is Gwen Reyes with the Dallas International Film Festival. I am here with the First Hope director, Jeremy White. Thank you so much for being here with me this morning.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about this. It's a short film that's playing as part of the Shorts block, and the most interesting thing about it is it has this kind of mirroring, reflective story of this little boy watching Star Wars and then kind of feeling all the feelings that he has. But you have a lot of Star Wars in the film. How were you able to use it?
Lucasfilm was really generous with us. Basically, when we came up with the idea for the film, we thought, okay, well, we could either cheat and just do this on a weekend, and it would just be funny to us, or we could actually make a real film and try and take it places. And we knew that required seeking clearances for the material from Lucasfilm. So that was really the one thing that I wanted to do, was most interested in. So we drafted a formal request letter to Lucasfilm and sought out their general counsel and pitched the movie to them, and they got back to us, and basically after a little bit of a back and forth, they said yes, and the rest is kind of history.
Have they had a chance to see it?
I don't think so.
They're just blindly trusting.
I think they're just blindly trusting. Yeah, if they're watching, if they want to see, they're more than welcome to. Hopefully, they don't rescind their clearances. No, they were really, really generous with us.
And so you mentioned that your writing partner, Austin, you guys wrote it together. And kind of how did it come about? Like, what was the story that you wanted to?
Austin's brilliant. I can't, just plugs for him. He's just, he knows screenwriting. He's perfectly suited to do that and that job alone. And he's really great at basically everything, but he has these ideas that are fully formed movies already. So he called me, I was working one day, and he just called me and said, hey, I think I have an idea. You're going to hate it, but. And he always prefaces all of the best ideas with, I think you're going to hate it, but. So I knew it was going to be a good idea right away, but he called me and basically within 30 seconds just pitched me the concept for the movie, and I could see the whole thing right from that phone call. So I hung up the phone, and that night we got together and we just basically started talking about it really fast. And from that point on, we just started fleshing it out. We knew that we wanted to make it a real, actual film and not just a sketch or a joke, which it easily could be because it's fairly high concept. And for me, what was most interesting was really exploring the truth and just uncomfortable honesty in that situation, in a situation where we're impressed by the movies that we watch, where a young kid can easily transfer in a very illogical, innocent way those kind of feelings, to his sister. There was just so much truth in that to me, so we wanted to make the most nuanced and again honest version of the movie that we could. So we just kept working at it, and we spent months. Austin just writing drafts and me kind of going back and forth with notes, and we would have tone meetings for weeks on end, and I'm sure by the end of it Austin was really frustrated with me. No, it was great, actually. It's the fun part for us, but we spent a long time just writing, and then at a certain point the script was kind of there, and then the job was just not messing it up.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you brought up that that you didn't want it to be a sketch, that you didn't want to kind of poke fun at it, you wanted it to just be this honest portrayal. And I think what's really interesting is that the way that it looks is so beautiful and simple in a way, but then it kind of lets that happen, lets that flow happen of this honest storytelling.
Yeah, we the cinematographer Phil Kluseritz and I, we had a lot of meetings too. We met for maybe 6 months before the movie, kind of having meetings and storyboarding very carefully. And the approach that we wanted to take to it was kind of it's Johnny's story, but we wanted the movie also to kind of live in a classical kind of cinematic world, so that it would feel like the movie that he could be watching on the TV. Like it was from that period. So every kind of choice we made about the design or the cinematography was to be as faithful as possible to that place and that time, and in a way that felt current and not overly nostalgic.
Yeah.
So we were referencing a lot of the Amblin films. I mean, I've seen E.T. over 100 times and cried over 100 times watching that movie. but movies like that were big references for us as we, not in seeking to recreate anything, but just in letting it kind of live within the space.
And you use VHS in it, so it's obviously the '80s that is taking place. And why did you choose to make it a period piece rather than bring it to the modern?
It felt well for me. There's something I feel like I identify with a generation of filmmakers who are raised on home video, and it's even more so today. It's changing rapidly. Now you've got YouTube and Netflix, and the way that our relationship to movies is very different. Martin Scorsese had a very specific relationship to movies, which was in the theater. And you could hear him talk about going to see movie double bills all the time, and his formative relationship of movies was at this place, this kind of cathedral-like place. Ours, or at least my generation's or mine, was at home.
And the consuming,
exactly,
it's
and
multiple consuming.
the specific ability to rewind and rewatch moments was really important. And you can do that now, but I think it was we said it during that time, not only for the kind of semi-autobiographical aspects of the movie, but more because of the topicality of Star Wars at that time, and where the way that movie was in the discussion, in the zeitgeist, even though it still is very much today. It's always kind of changing, right? So, but the technology of the VHS too, I think was I don't know, it just felt right. Sometimes it's just instinctual, but there were certain things that we couldn't justify making the movie without.
Yeah.
And it was, the technology of the VHS, shooting it on 35 millimeter, and shooting it practically with the Star Wars materials, not green screening and everything, having it be as practical
and real
exactly as possible.
Great. And so Jeremy, I know it's playing this weekend, but also where can they find it on YouTube or anything outside of the festival?
Not yet. Right now it's our clearances from Lucasfilm are festival only, so we're kind of starting our festival run right now, so hopefully we'll continue playing more and more festivals, but hopefully at some point we'll be able to get it online or on TV or something. It's always an ongoing effort.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate chatting with you.
Thank you.